Mike Piazza was, of course, the signature star of the 2000 team, and we are happy to have the all-time Met join us on the phone. Mike, what stood out to you about this Mets postseason run?
The first thing for me is the pitching. I mean, the pitching's just been amazing. I mean, anytime you have the pitching depth in the rotation, the fact where, the starters into the middle of the game are throwing just as hard, if not harder, than some of the relievers is pretty amazing. And offensively, the balance, the hustle, which I thought was very interesting, the fact that they were able to manufacture some runs and they're not just relying on the long ball or the big inning. They're scratching and clawing, and they're just not letting teams get off the mat. So it's very encouraging to see going into the World Series.
Does any of this bring back memories of what you guys did in 2000? Do you see similarities between the last two pennant-winning Met teams?
Well, it's been a long time. But I will say this. The one similarity that I love to see is the synergy and the chemistry coming together and just guys having fun, picking each other up, really coming together as a team. And I'd be the first to say, and I think anybody on our team the first to say that we're not even close to being as talented as this club is, I think, from top to bottom. But we had a lot of fun, and we pulled for each other. We had different guys stepping up every night and doing it. And so that's what I see here. I think, obviously you have an amazing quality of staff and a guy like Colon, who he's like an ageless wonder. I mean, he's coming out of the bullpen. He's throwing quality at bats throwing quality pitches and hitting his spots. So it's just great to see him firing in all cylinders. So, yeah, I mean, I think the fact that we have that common thread, it just seems like they're coming together at the right time as a team, and it's fun to watch.
Daniel Murphy has gone from being a good hitter to being an out-of-this-world hitter here. What do you make of this Murphy incredible October onslaught here?
Well, I mean, it's so fun to watch, a guy that's just using the whole field to hit, not trying to do too much. He's not over-swinging. He's taking his base hits to left. And as a hitter myself, I mean, it's something I really love to see. Just don't change anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. And the guys are starting to pick it up around him and giving him some protection. So when you have, the quality of depth in that lineup, and just the quality of the way they work the pitchers and the way they're taking pitches and working at bats it's taxing.
Obviously, you know pitching, and you have a unique view on it because you were a catcher. How impressive is you just mentioned it, what this young starting staff is doing at such a young age in a spotlight like this?
Well, I think the fact that they're feeding off each other is fun to watch. It's the synergy that they're challenging each other, and that's good too, because as an athlete, you always have to find ways to motivate yourself. It may not be easy for the fan to relate to, but it's always good to have that carrot or somebody throwing the gauntlet down or having that friendly competition on the staff. So the fact that you see them doing that, almost like, I went out and throw a great game, now you do it, and I'm going to beat you and I'm going to beat you. So that to me is always good to have, the fact that these guys are challenging each other and making each other better collectively is fun to watch.
Are you surprised, just with all this youth, that the moments never seem too big for any one of these Mets players?
Surprising? I guess so, only because there's a little bit because of the spotlight in New York. But I think because when you have such great guys around you and talent around you, it just has a way of everyone kind of understanding their role and not feeling like they have to put the whole team on their shoulders and carry the team as one guy or two guys. So, and as I mentioned earlier, the fact that they're running and hustling and stealing bases and Terry. I mean, and that's a tribute to the coaching staff and Sandy. I mean, I had a little bit of experience. My first experience was with Sandy Alderson when he was with the Padres the year I was there, and they had always put together quality clubs. Didn't have a huge payroll, but they were able to put together quality ball players, complement players. So the bench is strong, guys, and the fact that, like I said, collectively they're challenging each other is good to see.
You overlapped a little bit with David Wright towards the end of your career, the beginning of his. How good do you feel for him, being all he's gone through as a Met and with his health?
No, I think it's a tribute to him, and I think every player who would be considered an icon player, at least a player such as his stature coming up through the organization and really establishing himself as a true star on the team in the city. You know, everyone deserves to get to the World Series. Obviously, he came close in 2006 year I mentioned, but this year obviously it's going to happen. And you watch what he's doing. I mean, he's not, you know, he's getting quality at bats. He's playing good defense. He's doing what he is supposed to do. I mean, he's not, like I said, he's not pressing and trying to do too much. He's taking advantage of his opportunities and being a strong linchpin in that lineup and playing quality defense. So it's good to see him stay within himself and not feel like he's got to go above and beyond, continue to take care of himself and just do what he can to contribute. It's fun to watch.
The fan base, as you know, has been through plenty of disappointment over the years. Thinking back to '99 and 2000, did the players feel the passion from that fan base when things start to turn as they have now and as they did for you guys?
No question about it. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is feeling happy for the fans because they're so loyal and they're so dedicated, and as you said, a lot of frustration, and we had heartbreaks before, you know, the clubs that I was on, we couldn't take it over the top and give them that world championship, and it's been a long time, obviously, since the '86 team. So I said many times the Mets fans are the most loyal fans in the world, and they've been so dedicated, and as I said, the energy's been there. So I'm proud of the team, and you play for each other as a team, but I'm so happy for the fans that they can enjoy this, and hopefully, as I said, they get it done in the World Series and give the New York Mets fans what they deserve, and that's another championship.
So you do feel at least a little connection to what's going on here?
Oh, no question about it. I mean, I followed this team only because of the beginning, the frustration, you know, the fact that they went through a trial by fire, so to speak, and it was a little bit of a sort of a parallel story that I went through personally, and you know, obviously, people were down on them in the beginning, and the true fans stuck in there. As me as a player, obviously relate being with the organization, but as a fan too, watching that, it's fun, and obviously I relate to that.
Mike, we appreciate a few minutes. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys. I appreciate it very much, man.
Met Hall of Famer, all-time great, Mike Piazza.